got something really important, one sentence to say, or two sentences. So my wife asked me the other day, I was writing this report, this last article published October the 16th in Lockdown Skeptics. She said, Mike, if you're right and it's effectively over and there's all false positives that are causing the news problems, she said, well, why isn't it over? And I thought, and I came up with a few reasons. And then it hit me between the eyes. James, listeners, the reason the pandemic is not over is because Sage says it's not. That's it.
That's it. You haven't pulled your punches, Mike.
Thank you. I don't care if anyone... So when I've made comments that might impugn people and they might be inclined to serve a writ on me, that's fine. If I've made a mistake, I'm going to apologise in front of the judge. I'm going to profusely apologise to the public about the wrongs I've said about this person. So I don't wish ill to anyone. I've never been a vindictive person either. So if I've said things that are wrong and you sue me, I don't care about that. I'm going to pay the fine and I'm going to apologise. They're not going to hang me or put me in prison. But I think I'm right. And it's interesting. Just in closing, I've said such awful things about several named individuals and I can't believe no one's jogged their elbow and pointed them to it. Hi, Pat. So he knows what I've said.
Yes.
Why hasn't he sued me? The government's easier response to irritants like me is that they would just ignore me. That's the easiest thing. But I've been quite persistent in my criticism, and I've said why what he is saying is not true. And when you say in public something that I know is not true, and you use it for a purpose, then I think the phrase "lie" is correct.
Right.
It's not a slip of the tongue. It's not a mistake. Everybody does those things. I do these. I probably made loads of mistakes. But when someone gets up and regretfully, intones about that, well, sadly, this, that, and the other, and they say things that I know that they know is not true, and I can show that it would be like the first lesson of immunology, the first lesson of epidemiology, then, so I've accused him of lying. So why hasn't he sued me or put an injunction on me? And I tell you the two reasons why not. One is, first, he would lose. I would be able to show, I think, to any reasonable judge that what I have said is supported by our history and the science that we share, the medium of science. We can both read this stuff. I know that what he says, what he said is not true. So if his defence was, I wasn't lying, it's true, we'll have a fight about that, and he'll lose. And if he says, I didn't realise it wasn't true, and I'm sorry, then that would be fine, wouldn't it? I would say, well, you really ought to resign if you're that incompetent. So he's either lying or he's incompetent.
Yeah.
There is no innocent explanation for it, and yet he's not sued me, and I'm doing it again today. Come at me. I don't care at all.
Yeah.
So as I say, the reason it's not over is because Sage says it's not.
Great. I think that's a good way to end. Thank you, Mike, so much.
Great pleasure. I hope you can edit that down into something usable.
No, listen, the people will just listen to it on their